Okay, so it's November 3rd, 2022. I'm doing a video after the FOMC reaction yesterday. Everything is still according to the previous videos I did a few months ago, so it's just a patience game for investors and swing traders. So just a quick recap, and everything is still playing out. So S&P 500, the top, quite precise here with this trend line. And now we have this one that we have been rejecting, and now on the weekly we are rejecting the 21 and we are breaking down. So as we see here, and we already rejected that one, rejected this one from this area, and we are testing now to see if we manage to get a higher low to try to push higher again, or if we break down and we start coming down faster. But this can take still a while. We can still do a higher low and pushing higher again, and maybe even coming here. Let's see how we play out. But if we don't pass this area now, here, this resistance, we don't go anywhere. Okay, so I'm back to the monthly. So as an investor, target points, swing trade, if we hold this area, we can bounce again, and who knows where we can go. So this is an area for swing trade. But what I'm looking is the RSI oversold on the monthly after 15 years of bull run. I'm trying to see something like this or like this here on the RSI. So we are still long way to go. So next area is the 100 moving average here, which is this parallel channel that we can have a bounce. But overall, as soon as we close, if we close below this trend line with a candle, a monthly or a weekly close, I'm seeing the 200s here, and we go to the COVID bottom, which can be a good investment area. Closes below starts to get tricky, but I'm seeing this area, but many bounces, so we can take maybe 1 year, 6 months, 1 year until we do all the move. But let's see, one day at a time, one candle at a time. So this is the S&P 500. So this is the Nasdaq. Also very precise, the trend line, top, lower high, rejecting, and the trend line rejecting. Really simple TA. On the monthly and areas, if we don't hold the 21 and the 12 to try to push higher and make a higher low, and then we don't pass this area, next target will be the 50, which is this top here, and then this range here, this range, and the 200s are here, which creates a trend line with the COVID low as well. So this is the chart. Just be patient, and yeah, and the RSI is still quite high. So gold looking quite bad. So seems like we are going to this area here and keeping it simple, double top, and now trying to find a bottom. I'm seeing this area. Any closes below this trend line, we can come here. Closes below here, we can come here, or even here. But here I don't believe, but nobody knows. So I'm seeing this area here first. Maybe the RSI on the 30 as well. Oil, need to take the log so we can understand what's happening. So some selling wicks here, but we are trying to go at least until here now. So let's see if this seems like a double top though, that I'm looking at this from this little wick over there. So if we don't pass this area, we can come down and the stock market can bounce. So let's see what's happening now. But we also have this support here, so when we are holding support at the moment on this candle close. So let's see what's happening. We can still come here because we have 2 points, 1 point, 2 points. We can do the third point here. So let's see what we do the next days. But if we start rejecting, the stock market can bounce a little bit and do a higher low somewhere soon. I'm seeing this area of value also in the future and this area here. But this can take a while. So, but after this rejection, I'm just seeing a lower high and then back down. Dollar also toppy, but finding support on this trend line that comes from here. 1 point, 2 points, and now holding support. And then we have this one. Sorry, this is with the lock, so more precise. Here, here, here. We didn't touch it, but we have this one from here to here to here. We are holding support, and let's see how far we go if this holds, or if we do a lower hike from here and we come back down and then test. So I think we are quite toppy, but we can still give another push higher. Let's see. And if we close above this one, of course we can go higher. But seems like we are quite oversold already, so we should have a bounce sometime soon. The VIX trying to still on the triangle, trying to hold the moving average here, but I think we will come down a little bit. So it's already red. We can come here and bounce from the 21, but we still have this one, and this one, and we can still range here. We need to see buying wicks, hopefully, or a little bit of one. This one doesn't have a buying wick, so I think we will come down a little bit at least. Bitcoin. So what I'm seeing, because we had this green candle on the monthly, we might just do a higher low here and try to go higher. I don't know until where, if until here, if until here, if until here. But I still have a little bit of hopes that we hold this support after the FOMC, do a higher low and push higher. And risk management quite easy with the stop losses because the areas are quite precise. So let's see. We are facing resistance on the monthly on the RSI. So this is the tricky part. And let's see what the stock market does. This is the range on the weekly. So I'm just doing the daily now. So we didn't pass the moving average, trying to find support on those range, and then let's see if we have enough to bulls defend this area, but closes below here, we will come down. So let's see, this is a buy area for traders, swing traders, and we are reaching it over here until here, or until here, and stop loss is below. Let's see if we hold the next days to see if we push higher. Otherwise, if we keep on coming down, gets tricky, and then lower high and then lower low. Let's see. Okay, so this is Bitcoin. Not doing any alts, just checking other Meta and Apple. So looking like shit. This is how it looks. Going to the support of 2015, so almost 8 years of gains, and now time to go lower. And who knows if we come here, but it's quite impossible. I think we have this range here, 70s, 80s. This range that I think we might hold. If not, we have this range, this range. This one was already tested as support here with this candle. And these ones, they were never tested as support, but I don't think we will come here. I think we are quite oversold on the monthly already, so I'm seeing this area for a bounce. Amazon, almost reaching the 100, so I think we will have a bounce here as well, and then maybe lower high and lower low, and then we have the 200s here on the moving average. RSI not oversold, that's what I'm looking on Amazon. RSI oversold, and now with some trend lines we never managed to pass this stop. Quite simple. Then the 21, and now already below this support here, so this will be resistance, this area as well, and this is the long-term trend line, which can be this area, but we have any closes below can be tricky, and we have the 200, one of the exponential, so we should have a bounce here, but any closes below starts to get tricky. Looking at RSI 30, but the moving averages as well, especially the moving average and this trend line. Netflix, very fast now. Okay, rejecting, but we can still do a higher low, but we are rejecting the middle channel here. And let's see if we come to this one here and do a lower low. And then we have this big support here. And then we have these wicks that we can push the trend line a bit lower. But this one is stronger. So we have this range here for investors. We already bounced on the 30, on the monthly. So let's see what we can do if we do a higher low and still can push above this trend line, or if we don't pass and we come to test the support here. Tesla, not looking good. The triangle, we closed above, so let's see if we still manage to close the monthly during these months above, so we can come here or even here back to the triangle. But if the stock market keeps coming down, this is the next area here, and then we have this one, I think a bigger one, and if we lose that one, we have this one and this one. But I think this or this should hold for a while. Let's see. And the RSI pointing down. NIO not looking good. So I'm looking at this range here as for an investment. 6, 4, and maybe here 3s. Let's see. Don't think we will come here, so I think I'm looking at this range here for a big bounce. ARC not looking good now. Let's see if still holds on the daily, so this can turn green and we can come here and holds the low. If not, we can come to this trend line and have a bounce, and then let's reassess. We can push higher from there, or if we come to the bigger supports here sometime in the future. But it's quite respects quite well the trend lines, so very algorithmic and simple for who understands technical analysis. BABA, coming for the low. We are already oversold, and we still might touch here or come below, get the stop losses, and maybe from the 50s try to push higher. That's what I'm looking, somewhere around here, but no data points from previous on this chart. And a bit of cannabis, rejecting the top of the trend lines. The channel we are in, so but we did a nice candle here, so let's see if we do a higher low to try to push higher on the weekly. The channel quite precise. CGC, some big green volume here, but rejecting the channel on the weekly. So let's see if we manage to hold support and push higher. And let's see if this week still manage to close higher. So it's Thursday, 2 more days of trading. Let's see what happens. But I think we will come down here. And yeah, psychedelics, comps not looking good. We might come to the lows. So big red. Let's see if this area holds for a bounce and do a higher low compared with this area. Otherwise, we might test the lows again. And who knows, if we have a bigger crash on the stock market, we come to these lows here. It's quite possible with these stocks. Let's see. Stop losses. Yeah, and uranium. So if you want to learn some technical analysis, feel free to message me. I can explain how to do all these lines, understand moving average, trend lines, RSIs, trends, uptrends, downtrends, higher lows, higher highs, different time frames, how they correlate along, how they play along, so you can get good entries. And yeah, understand candlesticks. And this is uranium. So I'm looking for a swing trade here, investment here. And let's see. Silver. Remember, this is a patience game. Rejecting, but still in a range. We can still go up and down. We can still come higher here. If we close below here, we have this triangle inside. If we lose this one, we have 2 points. 1 point, 2 points, and we can have a higher low on the monthly sometime in the future here, in the next 2 years. So let's see. This can take a while. Many bounces, many volatility during this year or next 2 years. Let's see how everything plays along, and this can take a while until we find a bottom with the current market environment. That's it, a bit of copper. Not looking good, we can still have a bounce. I'm seeing this area, RSI here, veg, agriculture, trying to get a higher low somewhere here, but this is the buying area. To see if we come here, if we don't pass this area, we can test this one, and this one. So this is the range from here to here, and now a new range here. Okay, if you want to learn more, check some charts, let me know. Cheers. Let's just see how is Bitcoin at the moment. We will have the daily close in 40 minutes, so let's just check the daily on Bitcoin. I think these next 2 days will be so daily. Okay, coming for the 21 first. Let's see where we close. So putting the 4 hours. Okay, having a bounce here on the, this is a monthly support, and trend line. So areas of value for a possible bounce. Big week of rejection from the weekly range support, weekly range support resistance, and now back to this range, head and shoulders forming or already formed, and now areas of value will be around here. RSI not oversold on the 4 hours, 1 hour, trying to get a little bounce maybe until here, buying wicks here, getting green. Let's see if he has enough strength to get to here, until here, or until here. And trying to bounce here. 15 minutes. Going for the 12, we shall find maybe resistance here, maybe higher low. Then come here. Let's see. This is a monthly support on this area. And it's the 20k area, so it's getting a bounce on the 20k level. And yeah. This is where we are, trying to make a higher low compared with this area, a bounce, but the next 2 days will be important, and we have all these areas. Back to 1 hour, and this is where we are at the moment. And the daily close, once again, and the chart's quite precise, the patterns, technical analysis, quite spot on. And this is where we are. We must hold on the next days here, this area, until here at least.